Hi, Christina. Hiya, Laurie Sue. Luke and the amazing Tom Dodds will be here shortly. So, yeah. Luke's just getting us both a glass of Coke each. So, how you both been? Hi, Tanya. Oh, bless you, Christina. Oh, bless you. But what we will say, if you've got any questions that you want answering today, feel free to send them. Tom will be here shortly, and so will Luke. So we will try our best to answer the questions, and we may do a little bit of mediumship as well. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Nicola. I just messaged Daddy Tom and asked where he is. I said, because we're live now. Hiya, Lisa. Mariana's in the house. Hiya, Mariana. One thing I will say is on some of the pages, they ask about stars. We do not do stars. If you want to give a donation, that is fine. But we only do that through PayPal. So, yeah, if you want to give donations, let us know and we'll put the donations page up. But there's no obligation to do so. Hi, Tilly. Hi, Trouble. Hi, Trouble. What one's a trouble, Tilly? Myself or Luke?
Well, it's not me, obviously.
Hiya. And one other thing, if you see anyone trying to spam this, please let us know, because we've had a few as of late. Yes, we was on Zoom and now we are here. Block and block. Just carry on blocking them, Mariana. You know it was us, because like when I got you to join the other day, Hands of the Angels, I did send you a friend request, but I told you about that. But that is all. Hi, Trisha Hall. How are you, my darling? So all you can do is just keep blocking and reporting. That is all you can do at the moment. I know it gets really frustrating and annoying. But yeah.
Excruciatingly annoying.
Yes. Hi, Janet. Lynn Miller. Oh, well done. Thank you. Thank you. If you're on YouTube and you want to actually join our page, you just go over to DoubleTrouble at home, and we will, as long as you answer the question and you tick the box, we will allow you in. We're trying to get to at least 500 at the moment. We've got 61 to get. Hi, Denise. No problem. No problem. We don't do. Here's the main man himself.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm just answering a quick question. We don't do fortune telling, but if something comes up, yeah, we will tell you. No problem, Laurie. No problem at all. Right. Yes. And I haven't put the...
You haven't put the ticker tape up.
I know.
Just can't get the stuff these days.
There we are.
There we go.
Yes. And now I need to put that back on. Comments. There we are. Hi, Rebecca Yates.
Hello, peeps.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Christina.
Yeah. Yeah. What I've told them so far, we're going to do Q&A, and we may do a little bit of mediumship, especially if that other lady comes in. We may go over to mediumship as well.
Okay, don't use funny.
So I'm going to leave it over to you to let people know what we're actually talking about.
Oh, yes, we're talking about basically when people ask for a message from Spirit and Spirit gives them the answer. In other words, you know, if there's some guidance needed within their lives at the present time, if Spirit come through and tell you, then try, if you can, to accept it. Don't deny it. You get a lot of people who will go on to these things. They're looking for answers. And when they don't find the answers that they're looking for from Spirit, they get the ump.
Oh, yes.
And when they get the ump, it's like, well, hold on a minute here. You know, it's not exactly very nice for Spirit, you know. Hi there, Tricia. It's lovely to see you again as well. Yeah, the world is full of people like that, sadly. Full of people like that. They never learn.
Can I just say something before you continue? Rachel, can you try and refrain giving too much information, please? Because it is down to us to actually try and actually prove that there is spirit about. And if you do it like that, then that could be open to anyone trying to actually scam you, because they've virtually got all the information that they need to actually say, oh, I'll give you a message, pay this, and then to come back next week, I'll give you a bit more. Because what you've given is basically all they need to actually scam you. I'm only saying that for your own good, not
as a money get.
Not as a money get, but it's just to help you out and everyone else here.
He was being the money get, because she did this last time we were on.
Was it?
She did this the last time we were on.
All right, yeah. Yeah, but it's for everyone's safety, really, because we don't want people to get scammed or anything, you know. We have to prove to you that there's life, not you giving us the answers.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Right, Daddy-in-law, there's a good question there from Laurie Sue Cragen Clement. It says, this evening, if you might, I'd so appreciate any channeling or mediumship abilities you might share regarding my life at this juncture.
In other words, you're at a crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
Looking
Yeah.
for a way. Hello, triplets. Thank
So-
you, Jill.
So-
Charming.
Laurie, Craig and Clement, at the moment you're at a what we call a junction in your spiritual life. And at this point, you may well feel as though your guides have vanished. That's not the case. In many occasions, they tend to merge and draw close to you so that you can't differentiate them as clearly as you would do if they were separate and slightly distant. So you're at that junction there, and spiritually speaking, it's a case of you making a choice to go left, right, or straight ahead. Each of those three paths will lead you to a, shall we say, new green pastures, which in other words is a new beginning or a new phase in your life. No decision is necessarily the wrong one. It is very much a case of each of those paths will lead you in a different direction and present you with different challenges and different rewards as you go along. Some are shorter, some are very long and squiggly like that, some are very straight, but one could be going like that. So you have to make a decision as to which path you choose. And I would always say to you, when you're thinking about making a decision such as that, is ask yourself, which one of these paths leads me closer to my spiritual goal? And make your decision based on that. When you get to a point where I see green grass in front of you, which is like a new birth, a new phase in your life, it may indicate that there will be a change of spiritual guides coming in, because as you walk down this new path, you may be opening up to new abilities, and new abilities may require a new guide to teach you that ability and guide you through it, how to use it and hone it and fine tune it. So as regards spiritual abilities, as regards channeling or mediumship abilities, these all depend on which of the three paths presented in front of you now will actually, which one do you choose depends on which type of gifts or abilities will come to the forefront.
No, I read that differently, because I read that as I'd be so appreciative of any channel mediumship abilities you might share regarding my life at this juncture, which to me would be she's spinning around like a top inside of her head.
Mm-hmm.
And quite often people do make U-turns as well, because there's a need sometimes to go back over to reassess what you've gone through to be able to move forward again.
Tracy Connolly Smith is in the house.
Well, yay.
Angel, welcome. Jenny, welcome. Mary, is that Morgan? Morgan, welcome.
Morgan Sullivan, Gus are real, yes. Morgan asked a question a little bit further up, two up. Yeah, there you go. Very real.
Yeah. And there was another one I did see up here. Spirit come in or not for used.
Hey? Huh? Spirit come in or not for you?
I don't actually understand that question.
If you could rephrase that, please, Lisa. Yeah, so if you want to go back to this one and answer.
I could give an answer to that from past experience. I'll go surreal. The answer is most definitely 100% yes. As I mentioned last week about being called back from my normal beat when I was in the police services in London, and I was met by a spirit person who was what would term a peeler. Basically, that's a Bow Street runner, or the early form of police officers in London, and we walked the beat together because the beat I was on was almost identical to the one he did. And every time I went out on the night shift on foot patrol, that gentleman accompanied me. And I learned a phenomenal amount about his life, where all the, if you like, the bad boys hang out, the areas that are prone to burglary and all sorts of stuff. From his perspective, a very interesting and lovely guy. And yes, he walks that beat all the time, day and night.
Even in the religious book, what they call the Bible, they even mention ghosts as well, the Holy Ghost and all that. So yeah, I believe they are totally real. Dad, what do you say?
Well, after many years of seeing them all in three-dimensional form, and them being quite shocked because I can actually see them. Yeah, most definitely. I mean, it's like when I was mentioning the other week about the Air Force base I was on, and the gentleman in question that came through me decided to whip me straight into trance was Paul Juragowski, Polish fighter pilot. Yeah, very much real. Very, very much real. No doubts at all about that.
Angel said she's had a conversation with Ghost twice. Hi, Carly Lou. How are you, my lovely?
It's seeing them all in three-dimensional form, though. You know, it's like say if you're out and about in town or something like that, and you're watching all these people walking around. It's a job to differentiate between that which is real and which is not. You get to a stage whereby it all blends into one, basically. But it's lovely. It's lovely to actually see, you know, spirit to us.
I understand what you're saying now, Lisa. Spirit will come to us. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
It depends really on, say, for instance, you know, if you're in an environment whereby there's a lot of people wanting messages, it depends on how important that message is that's coming across. There might be others there that are technically more important than yourself, and that's an awful thing to say, but it's not really. Purely simply because you're going to have people who are in more need, you know, and it just happens. It is the way it is.
Spirit prioritize.
Absolutely.
I found I went to a friend's house years ago now, and this was I was living in Germany at the time, and he took me to his grandma's house, and lovely lady, couldn't speak a word of English, but you know, I speak German, so it didn't matter. And she was telling me about our life, you know, during and after the war, and what life was like for them. And the whole time she was talking to me, sat next to her was her husband and her young son, who's about 12, and both in spirit. And I was having a conversation with them in German, and what was striking was it was like she was saying one thing from her memory, and you know, the husband was giving it, oh yes, I remember that, yes, and so did such and such, nah, and it was like the story was coming out from three different perspectives, but she was doing most of the narrating, and it was very, very interesting because they were the son was dressed in a Hitler Youth uniform, and the husband was dressed in a regular army uniform. And it was so interesting hearing the same story, but from 3 different angles. And she wasn't aware they were there.
Yes, Christina, they can represent as shadows. And Marianne, it happens all the time. Doesn't need to be Halloween. It happens all the time.
Mm. See, I don't know. I don't know what the thoughts are on a lot of things. I just sent Daddy a message, and I don't know what's what. So I just asked him something privately. Is there anything?
Another example I can give you of, if you want to use the term ghost, is I visited a London battlefield, which is up near Inverness, where the Jacobite army was defeated by the British army. And this was after all the fighting had finished, and I was walking on the grounds of the battlefield, and I was seeing literally hundreds of Jacobite soldiers lying on the ground that were badly wounded by gunfire. And, they age-wise, they varied from about 13 to in their 50s. And they were all crawling around trying to escape the redcoats that were bayoneting the wounded, begging for me to help them getting off the battlefield. And they were pulling at my trousers, clawing at my hand, trying to get my attention to help them off the battlefield. And they felt solid as Paul does here now. But the emotion and the energy, the atmosphere was so heavily charged with such despair that it was, for people that consider themselves empaths, it is a very overpowering feeling. But yes, it wasn't a pleasant atmospheric feeling, but it was sad seeing, what I still class them as children, badly injured on a battlefield all those hundreds of years ago, still literally trying to get off the battlefield.
Yeah. Right. I know on one or two of the pages it says about stars. We do not accept stars because we don't want to pay Facebook a lot of money for it. If you want to give donations, that is fine. Just message us, and it'd be via PayPal or whatever. But we do not do stars.
Jennifer Seddon wants to know what page we're on, buddy.
Sorry?
Jennifer Seddon wants to know what page we're on. Sedman.
We're on Funny Medium, Paul Luke Guichard, Double Trouble at Home, and 2 YouTube pages. Yeah, exactly, Patrick. That is why we say if you want to give donations, do it via PayPal, because you get all the money then, especially if you do it via friends and family, you get the whole lot. But on, I think it's 1p per star we get. But yeah. Yes. So, yes, Daddy, you were saying?
I can't remember now.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
Oh, what site we were on?
Yes. No, you've mentioned it. You've mentioned it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's all
Hi,
good.
Patrick. Hi, Pierre.
Mm.
It could be, Patrick, it could be, mate, but apparently it's to do with the procedure I had done in my heart and the medication I'm on.
Tracy, I feel I have and I feel Luke has as well, and Daddy Tom has actually helped get rid of them.
Yeah.
And it's not very nice.
No, it tends to be that way.
Yeah.
I had one pin me down one night while I was in bed. Yeah, the little shit. Let's just say he was removed. Too sweet. Yeah. They are indeed, Keith KJ Jones. They are indeed. Hello, trouble on everyone. Now that's not very nice, Teresa, is it?
What was that?
Teresa's put hello, trouble on everyone. I've remembered her name. I'm watching you, Teresa. I'm watching you.
Yeah.
I have
Lisa,
certain ones, Tracy, that I send in to people's homes. Look
come to me for someone at work and saw tooth. She sell he and it saw tooth. He saw don't well.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Right. Unfortunately, Lisa.
I had spirits come to me for someone at work and saw through. I think that's through them. She tell her, or I tell her, and it's all through her.
He saw him as well. He saw it as well.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Difficult.
Yeah.
All in good fun. I know, Teresa. I know. I'm just the same. I'm watching you.
Yeah. So, if you are seeing shadows as a spirit, how do you communicate and understand what they are trying to tell me? I know I've reached out to spirit, as in loved ones, been searching our family history.
It's not a problem, Lisa. It's not a problem. Okay, just take your time when you're writing. It's as simple as that, my dear. No problem. Right, what was that?
Well, it's on a ticker tape.
All right, if you see shadows as in spirits, how do I communicate or understand what they are trying to tell me? Have you tried talking to them in a way that's just natural? Go with the thoughts that come inside of your head. Because, you know, the majority of mediumship these days tends to be through thought. So that's the way to go forward.
Yeah. The Jacobite battle soldiers, why didn't they go into the light? Forgive my slow knowledge about this, Luke.
Right. Easiest way to describe that is you have several types of, in brackets, hauntings. Okay. You have ones which are basically just like a videotape that replay over and over and over and over again. You have energy imprints on the atmosphere that are there and are triggered by people who are sensitive to spirit energy. So what happens is you actually relive a period in time as though you are watching it in the middle of the action, if you like, on a movie set. And then you have ones that come in visitation. So battlefields are predominantly what you'd call imprinted energy, where there's high trauma, high emotion, and all of that fear, anger, all that sort of thing, hate, and they leave an imprint in the atmosphere, an energy imprint in the atmosphere. And as a spirit medium, when you come into contact with that energy imprint, that's when you are almost transported back in time, and you're seeing it all going around you. Now, the people that were reaching out to me and touching me and trying to grab at my hand and my trousers and that, at that point in time, these people were alive. Okay, they hadn't died, but they were releasing a lot of energy into the atmosphere, so it left an imprint. Shortly after these people were bayoneted by the redcoats, they would have immediately been taken up to the spirit world by either loved ones or angels, their guides. Another thing that was very similar is when I visited a concentration camp. I walked into the grounds of the concentration camp, and there were thousands, and I kid you not, thousands of Jewish men, women, and children flocked straight to me, totally all around me. And again, it was an imprint of tragedy, hopelessness, and all the negative thoughts you can imagine, all clinging into one place. So if that answers your question, why didn't they go at times? Because at the time that these energy imprints were left, these people were still alive, you know, in the physical, and they left an energy imprint in the atmosphere. And many times you can actually go to places like that and you can feel it. You don't see anything, but you can feel it. And that is an energy imprint. For those that are sensitive enough to it, it will be enough to trigger, and you will see the whole thing played out in front of your eyes. So if that in any way goes to explaining it, it's sort of like best explanation I can give, because it's something you need to experience to actually understand. Maybe Daddy Tom has something on that.
Yeah, I found that people who go through traumatic experience, i.e. if they're in a battle or they're in a vehicle accident or whatever, you usually find that they refuse to believe that they have passed on. They absolutely refuse, and they just stay there. They literally stay there. And you find that eventually they realize suddenly that they have sort of something's happened to their body, and that's how they go into the light. This is how I helped a lot on that RAF site when the American soldiers were there, and also the Battle of Edge in Oxfordshire, where I was just, it was like a vortex, and I was just watching as we'd opened the vortex up, and there was literally just thousands of them going up there into the light. It was unbelievable. It really was. Hiya there, Lorraine. How you doing?
We're not going to be arguing tonight, are you, you and Lorraine? You was having a bit of a laugh earlier.
No, she's lovely, Lorraine. She's lovely. Yeah. She is. Yeah. Hi, Jeremiah.
Yeah. I once dated a guy who had a crazy kind of aura, and one night I saw a strange spirit guy in the room. It was like I was paralyzed for a moment and felt crushed and unable to breathe.
Yeah, you've been attacked. You've been spiritually attacked, basically, Jennifer. That's what that's about. Yeah. I love you too, Lorraine. Bless. Yes, you've been spiritually.
I used my energy to expand and yelled out, "Stay and get out, go away," and it never happened again.
To do what they do when spirit are like that, they look for weakness. And if you become afraid of it, they will get stronger. And as they get stronger, they end up then, well, they can paralyze you basically out of sheer fear, you know. And the whole idea is you just give them what for, you know. You just let your mouth run riot with them all, you know.
Always,
I
Tracy.
do have a few of them that just ship them out.
Always, Tracy.
See, Lorraine does love me. You see, I told you, you see. See?
No,
Bless her.
she's talking about us. She's talking
No,
about us
you
too.
see, no, she's actually got I love you, Tom.
Okay.
That's it. Now, come on, son.
Yeah.
Well, it's, you know, it's all the front, you see. When we're on there, it's all the front, you see.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, I went to see some old caves here in Denmark. They were from the war with Germany. The second I took a step in, I felt an overwhelming sense of frustration. I couldn't go in.
That's the energy imprint.
Yeah. You see that there being where frustration of those inside trying to hide and being found. So you're feeling that energy, you're feeling that frustration that they were having.
In my dream state has been very active. Not sure I'm understanding. Any insight would be amazing.
My dream state has been very active.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Auntie Lorraine.
It's classic. I mean, you know, prime time is 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning, where spirit have a tendency to come in with a lot of people's dreams and what have you. They cause a lot of activity around the world. They really do. And you can see them standing by the side. Well, I see them standing by the side of the bed and all sorts of stupid things. Yeah. That's when I start getting myself, shall we say, wound up a little bit and tell the guys, hey, come on, deal with it. Got to have my time as well, you see.
Yeah, that's when you clock on duty.
Hi, man, Pink. How are you? I'm glad you got your big card. Yes, Mand sent me a lovely message saying that she received a big card I done last week when I put it out. Oh, I got a check from a lady in America. I think I told you about it. It's going to take round about 6 weeks to clear.
What's that? I get overwhelming empathic feelings at times. This morning called local aquarium for an update on a whale that was spotted without its tail. Couldn't hardly keep my composure to leave a message. Bless. Be interesting to know how it swims without a tail.
With difficulty.
Yeah. I wonder if it goes round in circles.
Oh, bless you, man. Nice to feel appreciated. Yeah, leave them out didn't take 6 weeks. Hi, Jeannie. How are you, my lovely?
There's one today on the news. Somebody got a postcard. In Swansea, they got it. It's either today or yesterday. That was posted in 1993.
Obviously, that was first class.
Of course, yes. So it can take longer than 6 weeks.
Jeannie, we're on quite a few platforms. I don't know what platform you're actually on, whether it's Paul Luke Guichard or DoubleTrouble, but there's 5 different platforms we're on. If you want to have a look for the others. as well, because you're probably not seeing all the other comments either, which is a shame. On Messenger.
I actually got a British Gas itemized bill when I was living in Slough for an occupant of the flat which we were living in that had moved out 4 years ago, and it was date stamped 4 years ago, and it only just arrived. And strangely enough, we were with British Gas at that place, and I phoned them up and said, we've been living here now since such and such a date. Why are you sending an energy update for a guy who moved out 4 years ago, and your bill for him is dated 4 years ago? So, you know, the postal service is fantastic.
Tanya, what are you watching us on, please, lovey?
Heidi, hi, Ollie.
Howdy ho.
No, lad.
Quack, quack, quack to the holiday. Quack. Yeah.
Hey, careful, careful.
Now,
Copyright.
I've got a question for you,
Hi, Cindy.
Daddy-in-law, that maybe someone out there is thinking about.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an experience where you've been looking through, say, a history book?
Yeah.
I'll give you an example, like, say, American Civil War, something like that, where photography was available at the time. So for Britain's side of things, it might be something like the Boer War.
Right, okay.
And you come across pictures of it and the historical accounts of it. And you come across a photograph, maybe a group photograph or a photograph of an individual in service at the time. And you look at it and you think, instantly, you recognize the person and you can't think why.
Yeah, many instances, various different things, even down to places where I've sort of walked through and what have you, and had that very, very distinct impression of actually being there in the past, you know. Numerous occasions. I've seen old photographs where I've been able to relate as to what the event was all about and what have you, without any indication as to what it was about. I've walked through castles and saw people walking past me. I've been took back in time in these places where when I get shown a picture of stuff that I'm took to the actual incident, it can be freaky. It can be. But I just go with the flow with it, mate, because deep down inside, I know that there's a reality there, you know, that was once in, shall we say, this existence, you know. I've seen, interesting enough, I was just talking the other day to someone, and suddenly I was brought in about the Civil War and what have you, the American Civil War, that is.
Yeah.
And this was a guy that was dressed in his uniform. We were in this field together, and it was like, okay, what am I doing here? And all of a sudden, this person was, well, they were happy. They were happy that this person was come through, because it was something like their great grandfather or something silly like that. It was. But it was a case of you look at. I mean, even I can even look. I mean, you know, we're doing up this classic car, you know.
Yeah.
And I can go back in time when I'm at the car. I can go back in time to when it was first built and see the people. you know.
Mhm.
Now, that car was built 1956. So to see people in the car and to see people working on the car, and I saw some of that just by the pictures that were shown to me, that Tina's cousin, when he got the car, he sent me some pictures. I could see it all going on. And it was like,
Mhm.
oh, okay.
Mm.
That makes a nice change.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I get all sorts of stuff, mate, when it comes to that sort of thing. All sorts of stuff. What's that? I see things in places like Hampton Court Palace. But I doubt myself and put it down to the atmosphere of the places and imagination. Not
Well,
when
we
you
done that, didn't we?
just carry on.
Yeah. When we was living in Surrey or
Oh.
in Slough, we done trips to Hampton Court. We took your mum and dad there, didn't we?
Yes, and we all had we'll call it out of time experiences around Hampton Court, various rooms and locations. Hampton Court is a very spiritually active location.
Yeah.
And strangely enough, I've been there and caught the view of Henry VIII as he was walking down the corridor, but it was quite far in advance of me. So, I didn't see him walking towards me. He was walking away further down the corridor. And there was an individual dressed as Henry VIII. And I knew straight away he was in spirit because he had that goldy shimmer around the body. And I thought to myself, well, of all the people that you would bump into in Hampton Court, I never thought for one straight away it would be Henry VIII in broad daylight.
Do you know?
It is.
Yeah, that reminds me. I did a deep trance session one night with this guy, and Tina was there, and Henry VIII actually came in and he chatted with Tina about Hampton Court Palace. And it was like, when I come back, Tina said, oh, he said this. What's she on about that? What does that mean? And I hadn't got a clue about it. But Tina knew purely simply because she's an absolute history buff,
Mm-hmm.
I've been there many times. And we went there one time and we saw the carriages coming in through the gates. And I'm sort of standing there, sort of like waiting to cross over. And Tina said, come on. I'm saying, yeah, well, you got to wait. I'm standing there waiting for them to get past. There's anybody there. It's everybody else. And I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, creepy.
So Tanya's uncle told her they were related to Sir Francis Drake.
Oh, there we go then.
Have old photo of grandmother's things, two men in different uniforms, possibly pre-World War One, writing on the back is old dialect of German, and never able to find translator. Look familiar, can't swear. If you could actually send that to us, Luke will probably have a good go at it.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. What you got to understand is there's a variety of different German dialects that were used around the time of World War One, and they used a very specific form of script, which is a bit like calligraphy. So if you send me an image of it, for example, I can have a go and see if it's Hochdeutsch, then I would be able to tell you what it says straight away.
But then we've got friends in Gran
But
Canaria.
if it's not Hochdeutsch, if it's written in, say, Bayerisch or Österreich or Schwabisch, then I can forward it to my friends in Austria and Bavaria, and they might be able to tell you what it is. So it's depending on the dialect.
Yes. And man, I have spirit sit at the bottom of my bed. At first, as I woken by the movement to, oh, it's mum's cat, but I didn't have mum's cat. I'm not scared, but love to know who it is. I think that's meant to be. I do keep my feet away so I don't knock them off.
You
I
just
feel-
keep your feet away because you're scared of them.
Yeah, I feel one of them is your dad. I do feel your dad is around you. And I do also feel there is a pet there as well. So I feel you've got at least two there. Any of you two? Any?
Yeah, I concur.
Yeah, it is a gentleman that sits on the corner of the bed, actually.
And there is an animal as well.
I just saw the gentleman. Full of love.
Hi, Mary Freeman. Hi, Donna Roy. Hi, Tasman. Higher up. Yeah. That is what I felt straight away, that it was definitely your dad, and there is an animal there as well.
Okay, Lorraine. Thank you. Bless her.
And I do feel your dad is actually trying to get your attention as well. So I feel that there is going to be some communication, and I do feel it's going to be coming via dream state. So get a journal, write it down.
Mm-hmm.
He wants her to know that he loves her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he definitely wants her to know that, but I feel she knows that anyway. But
reaffirming, mate.
Yeah, reconfirming. You will do, Tanya. You will do.
Ask to remember them.
Yeah.
Oh, that. Ask Spirit to say, look, I'd like to remember them.
Oklahoma. Susan Durrett.
Hello again, Susan.
There's a musical called Oklahoma.
What we're discussing tonight is
How to make a bad cup of tea.
People that are given messages, and what was it again, Dad?
People ask for guidance from Spirit, and when they're giving that guidance, why do they not believe it? And why do they deny it? Why do they go off on their own little route before it gets stupid?
Night, Pia. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. So that is one thing. Why, when you've been given the proof and everything, you still don't believe it?
Why do you deny them? It's got, I mean, you know, can you imagine it, right? You're standing in a queue, that side of life. Finally, you get there. And you come through for that loved one. Then all of a sudden, they're denied. It's like, oh, okay. I've stood here, waited patiently while everyone else come through. Everyone else's family is happy. They're content. They're in tears of emotion because their loved ones have come through. And I come through and I'm just, oh, okay. Wow.
Fabulously encouraging, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Man,
Yeah.
you've been going through so much of late, and he just wants you to know that he's there. He is listening. He does love you. And he wants you to remember that within your heart.
Yes, Ali, totally right. It is. Mainly it's because they don't want to, it's not what they're wanting to hear.
Exactly. This is what we were saying earlier. That can happen, Susan, but sometimes that's some of the best evidence you could ever have, or you could ever wish to have, because when somebody talks about them later on, after you've had a message from them, it's like, oh, okay, I didn't know them were in the family. Oh, I didn't know who that was.
And also, the way I see it is, it's not for us to actually know. It is for, it's like when you're giving messages, you give some sort of completely different things. You don't know what they're for, but to that person, it could be significant.
Absolutely.
Well, it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Feel strong to a great-great-grandfather. I can find almost no information on, including his burial site, and never seen a image of. Is this draw to him his doing?
Yeah, it is. He's drawn you to him, basically. He wants you to know him, basically. And he will guide you to exactly where he needs you to be. Surprising how strong they can be at times. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had messages from my great grandfather, whom I never met. Yeah, I've gotten to know him so well with him being on spirit side of life than I ever could have possibly have on the earth plane, because he died in the 1940s, late 1940s, after the war. So he was born long before he died long before I was born. But I've got to know him so well through other people's mediumship services that it's almost like it feels like I've spent so much time on this side of life with him and gotten to know him so well, even though we were like so many years apart.
Yeah, it's surprising, isn't it? You know, it's like I never knew Tina's dad, but through the communication that we have, I'm really close to him, you know. And I've got some of his tools and what have you as well, you know, so it's really good. Yes, Vicky, lovely to see you, my dear. Really was. Yeah. They talked about clarity, Vicky, and the need for you to let certain things go now and to start looking ahead. Okay, they're clearing the way for you, if I'm honest with you, and they're wanting you to know that, you know, all the hard times, all the bad times, everything that's been sort of gathering together over the years is starting to subside. And as it starts to subside, I'm being told to say, go with it, girl. Go with it. All right. There's a certain amount of love, a certain amount of light that's there with you, Vicky, that will absolutely resonate with a lot of people. Okay. And it's like I just want to be able to. I want to be able to let everything go, so that I can finally be me. If you understand what I mean. And as I finally become me, then I'm going to be a lot better within myself. Health-wise, yes, it's been a rocky journey. It certainly has. The gentleman that was going to come through in the last place where we were is here now as well. And he's making me aware of being a tower of strength. And he wants you to know and understand that that strength he is going to build even more within you. All right. But he's also saying to me, tell her to get that smile on her face, will you, mate? Just tell her to get that smile on her face. She's got a beautiful smile. She hides it a lot. She hides inside still. And I want her to know that as she smiles, then things will brighten up around her even more. Okay? Now, I know that this man would have passed very, very quickly to the spirit world. And he's laughing because he's saying to me, I just wasn't quick enough tonight, though, was I? Her battery had to go. And he's laughing about that. But to him, he was sort of like, I would see it in an old-fashioned way rather than sort of anything sort of like in modern-day terms. But he's quite the character, and he just absolutely loved life. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, so that is the finish, the finished pleasure of your reading. But yeah, there's a. I tell you what, Vicky, you have got some beautiful people in the spirit world, some really beautiful people, and I know full well that they have remained with you throughout what you've been going through, throughout it. Okay. So just remember that, girl, okay? And it's fantastic seeing you again. It really is. It's been too long.
I want to read. Yeah, right. Tanya put Stacey Sparkles gave her a reading when she was on with us the other Saturday, talking about possible heart attack and death of stepdad or real dad. What do I do with this? Stepdad has heart issues. Real dad, no idea. That is a very, very difficult.
It should not have been given out.
No.
It should not have been given out. That was naughty. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, not good. Not good. Ooh.
See, unfortunately, I don't know anything about tarot or anything like that, so I can't really answer that. To me, you know, I love Stacey to bits.
Oh yes,
you know, but I don't know whether, because tarot's completely different to the way I work and Tom works and Luke works. See, I don't know how they can go about that, but yeah.
You're totally correct, Ali. You're totally correct. Yeah, exactly, Lorraine. Yeah. This office as well, Vicky. Bless you.
Yeah, I can't comment on that. I can't advise you on that either. You'd have to go back to the reader.
Yeah.
So that is a bit of a, because I know with us, as that's a medical thing, you're not allowed to give medical things out like that. Yeah, I do believe that it is against the law to actually give things out like that.
To diagnose, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I don't know about other parts of the world, but especially in the UK. I once, I was doing a public demonstration one night, forget now where I was, and I said to this guy, I said, look, I says, I've got this gentleman in spirit who's telling me that he went with a massive heart attack. And he's saying, will you please go and get yourself sorted out? This gentleman came up to me afterwards. He said, oh, he says, you had my brother there. I says, well, he's saying, you really go and get yourself checked out, you know. He got home. His wife said, you need to go and get yourself checked out then. And he said, nah, I'll be all right. Don't worry about it. That was on the Tuesday. On the Friday, he was in spirit. Heart attack, same. Gone. Yeah. If he'd only got himself sorted out. But
yeah. Tanya's just saying it's just been stuck in her head and it's worrying her.
Well, Tanya, you're bound to, because stuff like that comes through sometimes isn't necessarily correct, you know, and you have to remember this, you know. But if you go and tell them something like that, then it's liable to put the fear into them and liable to make them do it anyway, if you see what I mean. No, you just do that. Sorry, but you don't.
Yeah. And this is what worries her, what's just been put on there.
That's an awkward position, that is an awkward position.
Hi, Lynn Green. How are you?
Hi,
my lovely.
Yes, it's that's not good, though.
There's two options that I could suggest, and it's only a suggestion, Tanya. I'm not by any means saying do this. You could give it up to spirit and let them take it away from you, i.e. the worry and the stress. Or you could go back to the reader and ask them for an explanation.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Alison Plumley. How are you, my lovely?
It's actually dangerous. Giving something like that is dangerous.
Yeah. That's the best I can suggest to you. I don't want to comment on it because
we know nothing really about.
I know nothing about medicine in that respect, and if I had that information come through to me, I certainly wouldn't have given it to you. So I would go back to the reader and ask for an explanation on it. In regards to the worry and the stress it's causing you, I would give it to spirit in the form of asking for their help to take this stress away from you. You know, this is why future readings I'm not comfortable with.
But that's the whole point, isn't it? Of future readings, at the end of the day, what you have to understand is things change all the time in people's lives. Go out the door, you might be a minute late. Bang, there goes your future, what you've already been told is going to happen, because you're now out of sync with it. So therefore, chances are it ain't going to happen. You could be going along the road and all of a sudden somebody's had an accident up ahead somewhere where you get diverted off, which means you're not going on the same road. So therefore, again, your future changes again. Do you know what I mean? There's so many different combinations of if you like, in an algorithm that can go wrong with anyone given a future reading.
Yeah.
You might even sleep in. Maybe your alarm didn't go off or something like that. Or if you're out like in this house where spirit odd your alarm and it goes off at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, I've had that many times. Goes off at 1 o'clock in the morning, and there's Tom standing there. Oh, I just thought I'd let you know about blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a very, very difficult and sore subject, you know.
But yeah, Tanya, what you said there, give it to spirit, I think is one of the best things to do.
Yeah, it should never have been given, basically.
Yes. Lynn just put, I tell people future is never set. If you get a reading you don't agree with free will allows you to change it.
Do you know, somebody asked me a question one night. I forget now where it was. It was some place where I was in deep trance. And they said, you know, because I never know what's said. I only find out when I come back what's been said, what's gone on. So this person had asked a question about that spirit who would come through. What is the worst thing they think that the man could ever have? And the guide said free will. It's as simple as that. Because you have so many problems in this world now through man's free will. And it made total sense. And when I came back, he was saying, I think, well, yeah, I can understand that. You know what I mean? Purely and simply because the world being in the state it's in can leave a lot to be desired. You know, and it's man's free will to whether or not what he wishes to do in life. Oh, love the neck. Tanya. Oh, also had funeral and marriage in one of my cards from Paul. There you go, Paul.
Yeah.
What can you say to Tanya on that then?
To be honest, I can't remember what I give. I don't feel that is. Yes, that is what that funeral is linked to. I don't think. So I feel with that one, it's already happened, but the funeral's not happened yet. If you
the funeral's not happened yet.
What?
You've just said the funeral's not happened just yet.
Yeah, it's happened, but the funeral's not happened yet. The person they're looking for is already passed, and once they find the body, that is when the funeral will happen.
Oh, I see. I'm with you.
Yeah, that is what I meant by that. I didn't mean a family thing or anything like that, but I did see a marriage. But yeah, the funeral is this person, once she's been found, then there will be a funeral. So that is what I meant by that. So that's okay though, isn't it?
Yeah,
no, that is okay though, isn't it? With that,
yeah, it is. As long as you explain it a bit better in future.
Right, I do apologise. I do apologise. Yeah,
what do you mean the funeral hasn't happened yet?
yeah. No, I do apologise for that. Maybe
think of me ticker, mate. Think of me ticker.
Yeah. So I do apologise.
Oh.
I'll hold my hands up. Yeah.
Hands up, baby, hands up.
I get in trouble. Yeah, I do apologise for that. I should have been more clearer.
But that's the thing, isn't it? When it comes to spirit and the clarity of how we put these things across, we hold people basically in our hands, the palm of our hands, and we can either make them or we can break them. We can crush them. you know, by how we put stuff across to the people who are looking or searching for whatever from within themselves. You know what I mean? And this is where we have to try, if we can, to sort of draw a line on certain aspects of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Susan Durrett asked the question, is it possible to dream of your death? Yes, I often have flashbacks in dreams of a previous life where I was shot and fell basically head onto the snow on the ground. And that was during a life where I was a Lakota Indian. And the place that took place is known as Wounded Knee, where basically soldiers open fire on unarmed Indians.
I can also answer one of the questions as well.
And I'm going for a cold.
Where it's sort of before my mother died, I kept seeing her in her box all the time. I was seeing it, and I went to what was our teacher then and told them about it, and they turned around and said, "Oh, that means long life." And a few weeks later, my mum actually passed, and I went up to them and said, "You told me when I saw that it meant long life. My mother was going to have a longer life, and she's passed." And they quickly went into it. Oh, they were preparing you, and that did really get me to the point that I just lost all faith in spiritualism and everything, because that really knocked me for six.
Which basically is breaking it down to what I said, when we have to be careful what we say, how we say it to people. You know, if we're not clear on what's coming through, it can have all sorts of connotations in their minds, and it can send them basically out of it. You know what I mean? It's like you were with your mum, you see, when that person said, "Oh yeah, it's going to be a long life."
Yeah, because that really got to us, didn't it?
Yeah.
Luke will even say it did really get to us both, didn't it, when they said that?
Yeah, that was a very rocky type experience. It really shook us to the core.
And we didn't do any spiritual work for nearly 15 years. Right. Luckily, Spirit have actually got us back, but I still don't understand why they gave us it like that. Because to me, it felt like they weren't spiritual. They was just trying to say something. But that is how it got me thinking how it was.
Hi, Jodie Jenkins, who missed out on a message the other evening. You disappeared. I was calling your name. Just before I was called the time, I was calling your name. You missed out, me dear. You missed out. I had your lovely Mary with me. And she was ranting. God.
If you are on, I think it's Paul Luke Guichard, and it does mention stars. Do not send stars. We do not do stars.
How many stars up in the sky?
There.
Oh yeah. Yeah, them stupid things. Oh, well,
Yeah.
I never bothered with that.
So if you want to give donations, that's fine, but stars, please do not.
Very standard random lot. Now, Mary, there's no need for that. She was a nice
Hi,
lady by all accounts.
Hi, Tammy.
Has she gone again? Has Jodie gone again? See? It says it all, doesn't it? Yeah.
It must be you tonight because look what happened earlier.
Yeah. Crazy.
At the moment, we are just doing a little bit of question and answer. We will get to a little bit of mediumship shortly. Hi, Lisa Pullen. We're working together on Monday. The second hour, Lisa is joining us. On Hands of the Angels with the lovely Lisa Pullen.
Right. Mary Freeman says, I often dream of a large house where there's many rooms. I keep having this dream more over the last year. Any idea why I keep the dream when awake for weeks after? Yes. This is a message from Spirit. Showing you a house with many rooms is an indication to you that a phase is coming to a close, and the door from which you've stepped out of is slamming firmly shut, like Wentworth Prison. And Spirit are presenting you with a series of doors and saying, pick your door for your next phase of your life. So they're giving you a choice in which direction you go. It's all down to free will. You choose the door, and behind that door will be what your next phase of your spiritual growth and walk with Spirit will contain. And so the reason you can see it and remember it for so long after having it is because it's a spiritual message. Good idea when you get dreams like that to write them down.
Diane, yes. Simple answer. But what I do actually feel, and I don't know whether Daddy Tom or Luke actually agree.
Hi, Lisa.
People with dementia, I actually feel they've actually got more link with spirit, and they're actually talking up in spirit, and that's what they're more concentrating on than what they are here. And I do feel that is how dementia is actually, is they're more talkative with spirit. Hence why they know what things are happening in the past, but not things that are happening now. If you can understand that.
How's that? When they come through to people, they can come through in that form where they have dementia and what have you, where they are confused and what have you. They don't know what time of day it is and all the rest of it, bless them. That's so that you recognize them, and then they start talking about things that have gone on within their lives, and then you know that, you know, there's clarity there. Then it's coming back to a point of whereby, you know, they are happy, and that you can see that they've lost that dementia, that they're back to their old selves. Yeah.
My ears are buzzing, my left one sometimes right.
Syringing. It's good for them, apparently. I think son-in-law will agree on this one.
Oh, yes. A good syringing. Or if you have very good syringed ears, you may find that it's actually spirit trying to tune in to the frequency that your natural ears work at, so they can communicate in, if you like, voice form. So one day you might find you will hear the, is there anybody there? Spirit calling, spirit calling. Because yes, that's how I hear spirit, but I also hear them inside my head as well.
First port of call, doctors or one of these people now that syringe your ears, check that out first and foremost. Check that out, that side out of it first.
Yeah.
When that's all clear and what have you, then you move forward into the spirit side of things.
Saw a unique looking house in a dream as a child. Don't know significance of it, but saw that exact house 40 years later while on a drive in the countryside.
Missed that one. How do I describe it? Perhaps the lady wants to live in a mansion. Could be her dream that she wants to live in a big house.
That's a lot of
it's achievable.
Hmm.
No, Christina, they didn't. There you see? See, she said, I wish. There you go. It's her dream to live in a big house.
Yeah, the lovely Ali's written, do the three of us interpret things pretty much the same way? By what she means, like Luke describes about a house with many rooms. Do you or me interpret that way as well?
That's what I give the answer to, mate. But I said that the lady might want to live in a big house. She might want a big house. She might, she might aspire to wanting a big home.
Or it could be a memory of a past life, as Ali just put.
She's put, I wish. Which signifies to me she'd love to live in a big house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. This question. What's your take on that? What Ali's put?
What's that?
Can't you see it on the ticker tape? Do the three of us.
I've answered it, mate.
Yeah.
I've answered it. That's what I said. I said she may want to. She may aspire to want to live in a big house.
No, that's not what Ali's put.
Well, that's what she put it. You would interpret it a different way to what Luke has.
Yeah. No, what?
Now you can confuse me, Paul. We've answered that.
Yeah, I felt what Ali means by that is it's like if Luke goes in and sees like a house and he goes round it and it is a big stairway, a big thing. Do you see it that way as well, or do you see it a completely different way? That's what she meant by it. If I'm right there, Ali.
I thought you meant what's your interpretation of the dream?
No.
All right, okay. Yes, but Tom was answering a question about the other house mentioned.
Yeah. So she agreed with what I was saying, but
oh God. Right. So basically, what we're wanting to know here is, and by that I mean, take for example, Luke described a house of many rooms. Do you, Tom and Paul, interpret that the same way? Not necessarily, because it could be that people see things in a different light to what others do. The likelihood is that we're all going to have something different to say about it. Our interpretations are going to be different, purely and simply because of what we feel within ourselves.
Susan, that is a bit of a sore subject at the moment. Thank you, lovely. It's not against you or anything, but
Can you get a reading for someone else?
in other words, can we get readings from some other medium?
No, that's not what she means. Right. I interpret that
Thank you, Ali. Which question we're on now?
Can you get readings?
As I understand that, what the question is saying, right, I'm sitting here as the sitter, as in the person who's being read. You are reading me, and you come out with my dad, but you have a specific message for my mother. So the reading's for mum, but you give it to me. I go home, then give it to mum. That's what I understand by that.
Can you get a reading from someone else?
No, it's for someone else. Can you get a reading for someone else?
That's the whole idea of a medium, isn't it? They're giving someone a reading, so they're giving a message to someone else.
Yeah, I think what Luke is actually saying.
No, can I get a reading for a friend? Yes, that is very possible. That is very possible. Purely simply because I was in a place one day and there was two young girls sitting at the front, and I went to one of them and she immediately got up and said, "Oh, no," and she ran out the place. And the girl that was left sitting there looking bewildered, I went to her and I said, "You've been friends of hers for quite a number of years." It was 35 years they've been friends. So I said, "You know everything about her, so I'll give you the message to give to her." So she accepted it all because she knew her for 35 years.
Yes, yeah. That's exactly what I was meaning by what I interpreted it. By saying, you could give me a reading, but the reading's for me mum, but I have to take the information and then go back to mum and then tell mum.
That's correct.
Yeah. I was taking it as like us getting a message, you know.
Hey, don't call that. Don't call that. No, we don't call that.
Yeah. That is why I said a sore subject.
Oh.
Yeah.
There I say. Get my voice on now.
Yes, she does.
God.
Mean third party. Hi, Kathleen.
I have done Marianne, yes. But that's an old story, that one, isn't it? You know, where they wanted to commit suicide. And her parents came through and told her, shall we say, specific details that would not only save them from going over into the spirit world, but it would keep the family together, and so on and so on and so on and so forth. Yeah.
It depends. What I would actually say, it depends on what how if you know that person, because I would not go straight up to a stranger and actually turn around and say that, you know, this and that, unless spirit actually said, yeah, go on, it's safe to do so.
I'm confused. It must be getting late. I'm getting confused. Oh. I booked a hotel stay for a close friend and me, for a close friend and me, and used a Pacific shop, whatever that is, or is it specific shop? to get a gift posted to her. We fell out, so I had to cancel the hotel booking, but I care about her. A few days later, as I was on my driving lesson, my route started at the hotel I booked for us and took me on the same route I took to drop the gifts off at the shop. Any thoughts on this? Well, perhaps she's thinking of you while you're thinking of her, and that's how it ended up like that. Thoughts are living things at the end of the day.
Yeah.
What's Lindsay there? Think they are asking if... Oh, it's gone.
Yeah. That's what they were saying. I think they are asking if they are...
That one.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. Think they are asking if they are in the room and getting a reading, can they ask for the reading for a friend? Some mediums won't do it because they can't get consent from others. Well, you know, they can do. I mean, there's nothing to stop them. You know what I mean? And it depends on how linked in you are to the spirit world, basically. You know, a lot of mediums won't do it plain and simply because the person's not there in front of them, so they can't read them.
How can you be allowed to meet your soulmate but not be allowed to be with them?
That is a $65 million question, because a lot of soulmates can't, for the life of them, live together in reality. Some can, but a lot of them can't. And that's how it keeps evolving.
That's very true. Yeah, that's why I live in the garage.
Oh.
Isn't that right, dear?
What did you say, dear? It's our anniversary next Wednesday.
The shed tonight instead.
Daddy, it's our wedding anniversary next Wednesday.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, 28th.
Yeah, there we go. What can we say, you know?
We actually have 2 anniversaries, believe it or not. One on the 28th of August and one on the 14th of February.
Mumsy and I just have the one. And was all we'll have a third one next year. We'll have a third one next year, an anniversary. And that'll be the day we get divorced, ready to get remarried and have lots and lots of presents again. Isn't that right, dear?
Yes. Yeah. No, how I mean by that, because the 28th was when we was only allowed to be civil partners. Mm-hmm. And then on the 14th of February, when the law changed that we could actually get married, that is when we had it changed over.
Yes, dissolved the partnership and then
remarried.
Somehow or other you got me to say yes.
It's like whiskey. I told you not to touch your dad's whiskey.
Yeah, I blame whiskey, you know. I had
five fingers. It's five fingers
and a thumb. 5 fingers and a thumb length, yeah.
Christina, yes, I do. I know there's a lot of them which I don't know, but I know there's a specific one. My Tibetan monk, Brother Augustus, that is one I know that is always around me and always helping me. But I do know I have got I've got a few Indian guides and a few others as well.
Daddy-o, that's a bit personal, isn't it?
Yeah, but Brother Augustus is the one that to me, he's a bit like my doorkeeper. He's my protector.
Yeah, quite often it's soulmates as well, Ali. Sadly. Yeah, I've seen over the years a lot of breakups where people have said they are soulmates, but they can't live together. Simple as that. They keep trying every time. They keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back, and it's still all just.
Yeah. Tasman, ask them. How do you know who your spirit guides are?
Get to know them. Ask them.
Alison, for answer to that, and I hope you two agree as well, you need to communicate with them.
You do have the Asian girl there. Yeah, very much so.
That is something that should be between you and your guides. You know, we could quite easily turn around and say, yeah, you've got this person, that person, but you need to build that trust and communication with the spirit guides.
She does still have a beautiful Asian girl there, young Asian girl.
Oh, Alison.
Yeah. Yeah, she does. She's very, very, very slim. She's got beautiful hair. And I'm being made aware that she actually lived in the Viet Cong area. Is it the Viet Cong? She lived in that area.
North Korea. No, not North Korea. North Vietnam.
Yeah, Viet Cong. Because I'm seeing a river that's flowing, and I would have said she passed through drowning. I don't know what she was doing, but whatever she was doing, she couldn't get out of it. She couldn't get out of it, bless her. She's got beautiful, beautiful eyes.
Tammy, I wish it was that easy to tell people who their soulmates are. You know, you said you've been widowed twice, bless you. You know, the way I see it is, if it comes, it's like with me and Luke. Luke lived in Germany. I lived down in Surrey, and we met in a pub in Guildford in Surrey. And, you know, you'd never have thought, you know, the distance and everything, but everything was just opened up for us both. And it was from one little joke Luke made, which I will not actually say it on here, that got us both laughing, and yeah, been together ever since.
Hi, anything for me, Tom? Oh, bless you, Lisa. I'm chilling. Sorry and all that.
You're chilling.
Chilling, yes, chilling.
I was going to say, maybe you need to put the heat
relaxing on. For the first time all day. I'm relaxing.
Hi, Anne Williams. Oh, Mary knew how to find her soulmates.
Very true, Lynn. She said soulmates aren't always romantic partners either. They are just other individuals that resonate on your frequency. Very true.
Yep, absolutely.
So you can have soul families. You could have soulmates. There's so many different souls you could have.
It's a bit, try and explain it. It's like, as we all have many different lives, as we go through the process of learning different lessons.
Yeah, communicate with them. To Tasman, communicate with them both.
Right.
Sorry.
as we go through our earthly lives and learn the lessons we're meant to learn, you tend to find that there is a group of spirit persons, i.e. spirit in a body, that recognize other spirits in other bodies that they know. Now, in one life, you might recognize a spirit, and it's actually on the earthly side, it's your mum that in this life. You get born again into a new body, and you might find that spirit is then your brother or your sister. And then another life, you might find that particular spirit is your boyfriend. And you always find that spirits that know each other are drawn together and take different positions in friends or family around you. And that's what a soul family is. You could find that in one life, the spirit that you recognize again might be in the body of your next door neighbor. You always seem to interlink and regroup again in the physical. So one moment it might be your mother, in another life it might be your granddad, in another life it might be your next door neighbor, in another life it might be the sweet shop owner. But you recognize each other. Your spirits or your higher selves recognize each other straight away, and it's just hits off like that.
Tina and I did many years ago. When we first met, it was down to the fact that we'd been together in a previous life, you know, and we hadn't lived that life to the full because I was killed overseas during the war, and Tina passed with a broken heart. We were both young, so we've come back to finish our lives basically together as we were meant to, you know.
I'll tell you a secret, Daddy. My grandfather, who I never met, he actually died of a broken heart, and that was what was put on his death certificate, broken heart.
Yeah. No, stop. No messages for each other. Now, come on.
Yes, yeah, sorry. But that wasn't giving a message.
No, it's advisory, wasn't it? It was advisory. Yeah,
it was advisory. Tasman Pert will do. I want to go further on my spiritual path, but I just can't seem to find the right mentor. So I have to ask her guides for help now. How can she go about?
Well, I mean, you can take it from me, Tasman, okay? Years ago, I was looking around and I wanted to go on that spiritual pathway. And Spirit, in their infinite wisdom, kept saying to me, no, we're going to teach you, nobody here. I would book the system. I would try and sit in a development circle. And every time I tried to sit in a development circle, they made me ill. To the point of whereby I had to say to them in the end, look, what are you doing? And they said, we insist, we are going to teach you. No one here will teach you. So Spirit will teach you, especially if you're a natural.
That happened with me and Luke as well. Every time we went to an open circle, we ended up arguing, we ended up ill. Just things happened, didn't it? And we was doing it.
And funnily enough, and this is looking back at it, this is the one that makes me laugh hysterically. The gentleman and the lady that were running this circle said that I had no spiritual ability whatsoever. And as soon as that came out of their mouths, I could hear all of my guys roaring and laughing. What a load of blank.
Yeah. It's down to jealousy, you know. They saw the light that you had, and what they did was they filled it with negative energy, so you would argue amongst each other. you know.
Yeah, I just want to quickly say something before Lisa goes off. If you want to join Double Trouble, if you could have your picture, please, because of we like to see who's actually in our group. So I've just got to want to quickly say that. Yeah, you've got to have your picture or some sort of picture so we can actually
Got to verify who you are.
Yeah, so we can relate to you. You know, so yeah. I was told by a medium a few months ago I am being adopted, a directional angel.
Appointed.
Oh, appointed, sorry.
A directional angel. Do you know, what are they going to come up with next? Oh, my God. I was told by a medium a few months ago, I am being appointed a directional angel. What does this mean, please? Oh, God.
Straight away, I see you standing there with a map, giving directions. It doesn't mean
it's a policeman, you know.
To be honest, Mariana, that doesn't mean a thing to me.
Why do they always make these things up? Oh dear God.
Mary's just put, sorry if mine has a large jug of wine in my hands, LOL. So, do you know what that means at all?
Say what?
Do you know what that means at all?
What, directional angel?
Yeah.
Why do they make all these things up? Do you know what I mean? For God's sake, why can't you just have an angel come to sort of help her or whatever?
Yeah.
Why does it have to be this or why does it have to be that? It's like over the years, you know, when people say, oh, well, I've got to have, well, everybody's got an American Indian. I've got to have an American Indian. Oh, and I must have a monk. I've got to have a monk there as well. You know, a lot of it is just family. That's all it is. Your family can help you. They can be your guides. It's as simple as that. Ooh.
I totally agree with you, Ali. Totally and utterly agree with you there.
Oh.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, it's totally. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You know, they have a habit of mixing with energies they shouldn't mix with, to a point of whereby they fill people with negativity, so that when you're walking away from a situation, like you both did, there was arguments ensued, you know, because they got what they wanted, basically. They got you arguing and fighting against each other.
Mm.
You know.
You don't have to be true. That is totally and utterly true, Tasmin. That is what I was saying earlier about the stars and all that. They're trying to take money out of greed, personally. And that is why and quite a few mediums do say, just give donations. You don't have to. That's why people say, give donations, doesn't matter. But most people, that is why I said earlier, when someone was actually giving out what they actually want, that is why I turned around and said, you do not do that, because people will read that off greed, and because they've got all the information there, they can actually charge you what they want, and especially if someone has just lost a loved one, they can actually feed off all that's been given, and then say, "I'll come back next week." Yeah, you've got to pay another 20, 30. I think the going rate's about 40, 50 quid now, isn't it? You know,
I mean,
and this is what
it's you know, give to a charity of your choice. I mean, for God's sakes, you know.
And you had a funny one as well, didn't you? When you went to that old lady's house and her son thought that you.
Oh God, yeah. I did it for a cup of tea.
Yeah,
I made it. God, I've went in the kitchen and made it. Bless her. Oh, bless her. Yeah, I'll never forget
but
that.
she gave you an open checkbook.
Oh God, I could have literally put it. I brought that lady. I did that reading for. I brought her husband through to a T. You could not have wished for a better reading. She was emotional. She absolutely loved and adored her husband. And the way he came in, the way he spoke to her, it was like she was having a conversation with him. And the details that he came out with were phenomenal for her. And at the end of it, it was like, well, you know, can we have a cup of tea? Yeah, you know. So I went and made a cup of tea. She gave me an open check book, basically. Put down what you want, she said. Put down what you want. Anything you want, put it down. I could have put hundreds, I could have put thousands down because of the reading she had. But I just wanted a cup of tea. That was it. And of course, when her son came in, found out that a medium had been in her bungalow, all hell broke loose. And she'd said about where she'd given me a checkbook to write in the amount I wanted. Oh, he'll have took all your bank account. He'll have took everything out of your bank, the whole kit and caboodle. And it wasn't. She said, look, the checkbook's empty. And she'd said to me at the time, she said, well, you haven't put anything in. I said, that's because I just wanted a cup of tea. God, there's nothing wrong with just wanting a cup of tea for bloody reading. I'm swearing about it, sorry, lads.
Mariana, and in regards to your question about directional angel appointments and all that, it doesn't really mean anything, but having LinkedIn with you, they're using very flowery titles and that, which are absolutely pointless. But basically, what it is Spirit are giving you the ability to help direct people on their spiritual path to meet the right individuals to help them on their way. So it's almost like you're being an usher. So as a person comes in and it's like, oh, I really need to find someone that knows about this, you can say, oh yeah, I know who you need to go and see. It's that guy over there with the bonnet on. Or, oh, you need to contact DoubleTrouble. Or, yeah, you need to speak to Tom Dodds about that. And all that's all it is basically giving you the ability to point people in the right direction to who they need to talk to about certain spiritual matters.
Do you know what's just clicked as well? What a directional angel is? A guide.
Yeah. A guide in the flesh, basically. You're just guiding people to the right people. And this is what really annoys me, Mariana, because you get some mediums, you know, I'm not belittling their talents in any way, shape, or form, but they use such ridiculous, flowery language that confuses the hell out of people like yourselves who are there being read. And what they might call a directional angel, I hear that and I think, what the hell are they talking about? And I've got to go and ask my guys, what the hell has this person been talking about? And get the answer back. So it's flowery language. It's superfluous waffle to confuse the masses. So basically, you are like an usher herding people to speak to the right people about spiritual issues that they may discuss with you. Like, oh, I need to know about my guides. I'm not sure about my guides. Oh, I know. If you talk to so-and-so, they're really good about guides. So you're being like a guide or an usher, pointing them in the right direction to speak to the people what they need to know about. Yeah, that's what basically what it is they were saying. It's just that they use ridiculous waffle. And there's no need for waffle. You just tell it.
Ridiculous tags.
Yeah, we're a member of the Plain English Club.
Yeah.
And that's what really annoys me when they use waffle. That means nothing.
Sit over there, love. Wait a moment. We'll be with you soon. Oh, by the way, your directional angel is saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Mariana, that's quite nice.
Yeah, thank you for that, Mariana.
But yeah.
I believe in saying things plainly so everybody understands what we're talking about.
She lost her weight earlier this year before she found us, but that's funny. But what about this one? What Tasman's just put? There is one dream I've had all throughout my childhood and most of my adulthood, where I've been pushed off a cliff by a horse. I've actually hit the bottom, jumped in my dream, and woke up. Is there any meaning to this?
Don't go near the edge of the cliff, like the one. No, seriously speaking. Okay, when we have dreams that repeat themselves, okay, on some occasions, what you have done is you've connected with an old memory from a past life, particularly when it repeats itself. Now, I say that from an experience that I've had since early childhood. And as a dream, it was a dream in which I was having sometimes 3-4 times in a week, where I was standing on the battlements of a city wall with a bow and arrow, and I was shooting arrows at people that were attacking the city. And I had that dream regularly, very vivid, like Ultra HD, and very clear sound. I could feel the heat from the sun, the thirst in my mouth. And it followed on where the fighting then took place in the city, and I was defending women and children. So this kept going on and on and on, repeating itself. And then it suddenly clicked. This was a past life. And as soon as I recognized that for what it was, the dream changed to a different setting. And that was repeated several times until I got to understand the fact that I had quite a number of past lives leading up to where I am today. So when a dream like that presents itself, that is one explanation that it may be a past life, that section of your past life that you are reliving. And it's your higher self, which is your spirit, saying, oh, by the way, you've been here before, and this was how one of them finished, with a horse knocking you off the edge of a cliff. Okay? But it's not the only explanation that could be. The other one is a message from spirit basically saying that you're teetering on the edge of a situation that if you carry on the manner that you're going, you'll be kicked, like being kicked by a horse, over the edge. Now, that could mean that you're suffering a lot of, shall we say, emotional and mental turmoil. And if you don't do something about it, the emotional turmoil or mental turmoil, like stress, for example, which is taking the form of the horse, is going to kick you over the edge, and the cliff, falling off the cliff as you going off the edge. So that to be another possible explanation. Yeah. But without delving into detail and doing a very detailed reading, it's difficult for me to put hand on heart and say it's definitely this or it's definitely that. But these are possible explanations. Okay.
Total agreement, Teresa. Total agreement.
Yeah.
About time all this faff was stopped. There you go.
Feel some readers take advantage of the less knowledgeable. Use layman's terms, plain English, short of drawing pictures in crayon. I used to do pictures with wax, hot wax, but yeah. And as
yes, your life is planned before you. Totally correct.
I've unsubscribed from readers who talk in condescending ways to their followers. Not enough love and light coming from them. Well, we only work in the love and light here. We are, we only have people on that are from the are for love and light, not nasty people. We've got rid of a couple over the past few days, and they will not be back.
The thing, the thing to remember here is, it's all stupid, flowery stuff, and you think, oh my God, come on. It's, look at me, I'm so wonderful. Oh, and pardon the expression, lads, my shit don't stink and all that.
Oh, you can't polish one of those.
Oh, God, and you think to yourself, my God, come on, start getting a life. It's all these different handles they've got on these things these days. Now, 50 odd years I've been doing this, and all that time I've seen so much that people have put in, oh, well, it's got to be this. Oh, well, it can't be that. It must be this now. Oh, and you have to say this now. And you've got to say this now as well. And you think, for God's sakes, where's the naturalness gone? Where's the ability just to communicate with spirit, from spirit to spirit, and all that business? Yeah. Where's it all gone?
Exactly. Bless you, Mariana. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Think of the ticket.
There is too many so-called, what I'd say, know-it-alls who think they know everything. And, I've seen it, Luke's seen it, and I bet Daddy Tom's seen it as well.
So many times. But you never will. Yeah. Purely and simply because at the end of the day, even when you go into the spirit world, you're still learning.
Yeah, exactly. But like there's mediums out there that read so fast, you haven't even got a chance to actually answer them before they're finished.
Oh, I like that, Ali.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad that made sense to you. But like I say, that's two possible explanations for what's going on. But you'll know yourself which one resonates with you better. So I'm glad that's been a help to you.
Oh my God, I like that, Ali. I like that. Not in my case.
This is why we like doing these Q&As, because it helps people understand more. Like if you want to know about us or spiritual things, this is how we do it. And yet sometimes we do a bit of mediumship, sometimes we don't. But there is other days that we do actually do mediumship. But what is quite upsetting at sometimes is, like, for instance, Tom gives a reading to, say, for instance, Ali. And then, like, Luke asks, does anyone want a reading? And then Ali puts up again, yes, please. And then Luke goes to Ali, all on the same night. And then Luke's been through, and then I come on a bit later. And then Ali says, oh, do you want to read him? People have got to realise there is more than just one person watching.
Yeah. Ali, the message. That's what he's trying to say. Are you listening, Ali?
No, Ali is lovely. We love Ali to bits. I'm just using Ali's name as a for instance.
Yeah.
You get too many people being greedy where, you may have 30, 40, 50 people on and they all come on because they would like a message.
Yeah.
And then they get upset because you don't give them a message and cause a lot of problems. But this is the problem we get day in and day out when we're doing our lives. We do it all for nothing. All we do it for the love of spirit. But then we get abused by people because we haven't gone to them.
Yeah. It's sad because everyone's entitled to a message.
Exactly.
Ali's hiding behind the cushion now.
I'm sorry, Ali. I'm sorry. We love you. You and
I like that. There's a good question there. Do you know if the shadow spirits will show themselves? If you're referring to like those spirits that you see that are all blacked out, and sometimes you see them poking their heads out from behind something and then quickly hiding again. Those are from the lower realms. Some people would say they are visitors from another dimension because, there are many, many different dimensions where life exists, either in spirit form or in physical form. And some people believe that those shadow persons are ones from a different realm that have been trapped in ours. Others would suggest that they are spirits from the lower realms because you've got different levels of, if you like, heaven, if you like, and they're from the lower realms. If you find you've got any of those in your place of work or your place where you live, it's always a good idea to move them along somewhere else. And to have that done, you really need to be referred to somebody who knows what they're doing, not some amateur ghost hunter group. We're talking about a professional medium with those skills.
Yeah. I've got a question for you, Daddy.
Yeah.
Light work, or whatever you call it, where they're going in this funny voice and all this and that. What is it called? Light work, where they go into
all this light language.
Yeah, light language or whatever you call it.
That's just
light language. I've never heard of that one. I've heard of people talking in tongues, if that's what you mean.
Oh, it's mediums that while they're doing messages have a little breaking and blah 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 blah.
Oh, for God's sake!
Yeah, incoherently, as if it's, and they call it a light language.
Oh my God! Yeah, okay, whatever. Why can't they just be normal? God's sakes!
Well, yeah,
it's not much to ask. Just be normal.
I was watching someone the other day there who was giving really good messages. I could honestly say they had a good connection with spirit, and then they went into this light language waffle, and I just thought, you have just blown a hole in all of that now. Because my guides could not understand what on earth was coming out the mouth because it was just gobbledygook.
You know what? Someone's always got to be different to everybody else, haven't they? They've always got to put a little label on something that's got to be different from other people, where they just can't be natural, where they can't just communicate in the normal sense of the term, communication to the spirit world. they've got to have this handle of some description where, oh, come to me because I can speak in so many different tongues and languages and lingos from outer space. Dear God, whatever next, you know. Oh, dear God, it does my head in. It does my head in. Why they can't just be normal? Why people can't be normal? Just for once, just be normal.
Maddie,
Sorry.
sorry. Maddie, yes, they can grow on the other side as well, but when the baby comes through, it may come through as a baby or a growing up. Have you got any words on this?
All I'll say to that is,
sorry for your loss.
Yeah, Maddie, there is a lady that I would like to say is not very tall, but she's what I would like to say she's of medium build. Some people may would possibly describe her as slim, but when I look at myself and say I'm slim, this lady's slightly more medium built in comparison to how I describe myself. With very, very beautiful silver hair, in the sense that it's been professionally done. You know, she's all about her hair. It's got to be nice, neat and tidy and presentable before she goes anywhere. And I can see her in my mind's eye with a baby in arms, holding it like as if you were rocking a baby to sleep. She has the baby boy with her. Okay. And she is also in a group of family in spirit that have passed since her and some before her. So as a group of people, she came and collected the baby. She came to get the baby. Okay. And they've taken it into their arms and have taken it into the group of family, and they are caring for the baby. I'm also aware that there is someone that I'd like to describe them as a nun, but they're not the traditional black and white habit. This is a lady who wears a blue, it's like a blue skirt and top, and the blue headdress thing.
Sister of Mercy.
Sorry?
Sister of Mercy.
Yes, Sister of Mercy. But she draws close to you, and what I can see is, as I look at her and you sat together, is she has, if you like, a handkerchief in her hands, and what she's doing is dabbing your eyes like this. She's been sent to bring you comfort and to minister healing to you. This is not something that is easy for a mother to go through. So therefore, there has been a specific Sister of Mercy sent to minister to you while this lady, and I want to go down the parental side of the family with this lady, and I want to go to the grandmother area with this lady. There's, and don't take this the wrong way, but there's celebrations that the baby arrived safely to the spirit world, but there's great concern around you. So this is why this Sister of Mercy draws close to you. And when this grandmother figure comes to you in visitation, she brings the baby with you. And she's talking about hearing the baby make those traditional verbal baby noises, but not the crying, I don't know, how would you call it, the goo 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 ga 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 type noises. And when you hear that, know that she that your grandmother in spirit is with you with the baby in arms. Okay, there is a very strong, I want to say, pink love energy that comes from this lady, which she brings in with her, which will change the atmosphere in the room. So as soon as you sense the change in the atmosphere, okay, know that she draws close with the baby.
Yeah, she just said she did ask her now to actually take him. That is good.
Yes, but also you need to be aware, darling, that your baby will grow up in the world of spirit. Okay, he will grow up, so he will become the strapping young man that he was destined to be. But as a memory link for you, it is very likely that every time he comes through, it will be described as a baby, and then you might find he will then continue on at that from that point as the man that he's grown up to be.
He can also have the option of staying as a child, so that when she returns to the spirit world eventually, she can go to that age where she lost him, and they can go through together on that side.
Yeah. Right. If spirit is interested in our well-being, I find it hard to believe they would make it that complicated for us to understand.
Exactly.
It's yeah.
Not necessarily, Maddie. Like I said, he can choose to stay as a child, and when you go to spirit, you go to the age where you lost him, and you can go forward in that life.
Yeah, so you could have the pleasure of raising him up to be a strapping young man from the point that he passed. So when you arrive in the world of spirit, you'll see him as a baby, you'll be able to pick him up in your arms, and you'll be able to go through the joy of raising him up to a strapping young man.
Yeah.
I don't know what inept readers are. Does anyone know what inept readings are?
Not giving you a very good message.
Clodhop readings.
Not
Clumsy,
giving you a very good message. Yeah.
half-hearted, lack of gusto. It's just, all right, yeah. Your great aunt Thelma's coming through. She says she's all right. Blah. That's and that is an inept mediumship reading.
Yeah, clueless, in other words.
Yeah,
right.
It's just sheer and utter waffle.
And forward, as
someone's sitting in a chair talking waffle and taking your money.
Yeah. Where we actually try to get the proof, and if we can't get the proof, then how do you know? That is why we always tell them, say, do not feed the medium, because one, we've already eaten, but two, people will see that and they'll actually use that to actually bleed you dry. We work in the proof. We have to give you the proof, not you give us. And then we say, oh yeah. That is no proof. It's like when someone says, oh, I've just lost my husband. He was this age. You know, you told us, so we could actually go and say, right, I've got your husband here. Give us 50 quid and I'll tell you what he's saying. This is what fraud people do to make money.
It can have an opposite effect as well, though, mate. Where when somebody mentions a loved one, that all of a sudden the medium can't bang, they're there. Do you know what I mean? Just by the mention of say the person's name or the connection that they have with that person, you know. and they come flooding. I mean, I had that years ago. There was a lady came to see me, and basically she'd lost her husband, and as soon as she came in, she said, "Oh, I wonder if my husband's here." Well, he was laughing because I said to him, I says, "He's laughing at the fact that you said you'd lost him." But he said, "I was escaping her." But they were always joking with each other, you know, so it can have, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean to say that the person is scamming them. It just means at the end of the day that the connection comes in because they brought it in, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, it's all right saying husband or something like that, but you can say that, but not all the other things.
Oh God, yeah, no, you don't want to give the shoe size, the waistline
that is
size,
what
the
you've
collar
got to be
size.
careful with.
Yeah,
you've got to be careful with what you actually tell them.
Oh God, yeah.
Good.
You don't want to be sitting there and somebody come in and say, "I'd love a reading." My husband, well, he was a size 9 shoe. He had a 32 waist, and yes, his collar size was 15 and a half. Is he there?
Yeah, a bit like that bit in Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg and that. And I still laugh at that. Yeah, $20. It's all about, I can't really get more. Oh, I'll pay more. And well, he said he's very handsome. And Whoopi says, in the spirit world, we're all handsome.
Was that Tom? What are your thoughts on Mediumship? I think it's scary, lol. Speaking from experience, I've done a lot of deep trance stuff, and it basically, I don't find it scary. I dip out, and when I come back, people tell me what's been said, what's gone on. No, I don't find it scary at all. It's a natural with me. Yeah.
Any of you on Facebook want to come and join Double Trouble at Home, and you're more than welcome, but just answer the questions and tick the box. And as long as you've got a picture that we can see, we will allow you in. No problem at all. Even
exactly,
if you
Laurie.
Afterwards. It's just so we can actually see.
For me, when in trans mediumship, I find it hilarious from my point of view because I step out of my body and allow one of my guides to step in my body. So I'm then standing out of my body, looking at my body, speaking with a completely different voice, completely different mannerisms, and I find it hilarious.
Which I've actually witnessed.
And then sometimes I just go for a walk around in the garden while watching what's going, instead of watching what's going on. And when I come back in my body, I have no memory whatsoever of anything that was said during the trans mediumship, because it wasn't me, because I stepped out and then went for a walk in the gardens.
I mean, I'll give you an example. There was a guy that, I mean, he's in spirit now, bless him. And his wife used to come through. And I never ever knew what was being said and what have you. And she was a very good singer by all accounts. And she used to sing to him in her voice. So it was me sitting there with this woman's voice singing away. And she came in one particular day, and the gentleman in question, his son, was under the medical profession, we'll say, for various different things. And she actually told him that he was going to the hospital. She named the hospital where he was going. She named the doctor that the son was meant to see, but it was going to be changed. And the new name of the new doctor that will be seeing the son will be Mr. So-and-so. And this was supposed to be the next day. And he contacted me by telephone on the night time. He says, I can't believe, he says, what's been said. He said, I've got it on tape as well, where my wife came through, she was singing, then she started talking, and he gave me the details of, the hospital name and the doctor he was meant to be seeing, and the new doctor, this Mr. So-and-so, he was going to be seeing, and what have you. So that was a lovely bit of beautiful evidence in deep trance, basically. Yeah, it's nice when that happens.
Talking about
Louis, I'd like to just I don't know what I'm just trying to read what T. Lynn put at Laurie. I'd like to disengage it. Sticker's foot.
It's spell check.
All right. What was it meaning?
What I hate is predictive text.
Yeah.
I hate that. It comes up, I'll send a message to someone, and all of a sudden it'll come up with something totally different, something totally random. And I think, that wasn't meant to go like that. Oh, God.
So, Tasman, what do you mean by that? You've been given one a couple of times and it made you jump out of your skin.
Jeremiah, hi Jeremiah. Is there a specific meaning of someone only dreaming of spirit?
Hiya, buddy. It was lovely chatting with you yesterday. Or was that today? God, I can't remember.
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Oh, thank you. Thank you, son.
Yeah.
I thought I was losing for a minute.
Yeah. Is there a specific meaning of someone only dreaming of spirit?
No, not really. It's spirit can often come through, especially if you're going through certain traumatic emotions and what have you. They can come through. They just want to have a natter, just to put your mind at rest and all the rest of it. Spirit people will come forward to help you, just to get you to calm your mind and what have you. Don't panic, Jeremiah.
I've been told I can astro travel in my dreams, but I can never remember if I have.
Well, you haven't been very far then, have you? Get your suitcase packed, girl, and get on your travels.
This guy, I was going to say, the universe is a limit as to where you can travel when you astral project.
But she don't remember any of it.
I can remember going through. I started out on a meditation. Then I must have gone beyond that, basically, because I can remember sort of in the universe and looking at varying different planets. And it's like seeing them really close up, then moving on to the next, onto the next. Weird, absolutely weird. I mean, amazing at the same time, don't get me wrong. But it was lovely to sort of be able to sort of do a journey like that for a change,
Visiting strange worlds and seeing, for want of a better word, alien beings living their lives just like we live our lives down here. It's amazing.
A trance reading think it's the way they talk, because they talk through their guides, don't they? No. I've always been intrigued by it, but it scares me at the same time.
No, they don't talk through their guides. No, because the people that I brought through in deep trance, they've always been the very person who had passed.
Yeah.
Down to the voice, down to everything. Yeah.
Yeah, you step out of your body and the guide steps in, and it's 100% the guide that you're speaking to.
Yeah.
Or loved one. I remember an instance where in the trance circle, I stepped out of my body and a young boy stepped in who had recently passed away through the tsunami, and spent practically the whole night, I think it was, the whole night talking to everybody else in the circle. And I missed that because I stepped out and went off for a walk in the garden, so I was unaware of it. But they actually managed to identify months later, when the UK casualties, if you like, were named. They were able to find his name listed amongst those that were recovered.
And yes, Mary, better make sure they've got the sun cream.
Do you know, it's I mean, it's like that one I was telling you about, on that Air Force bloody site, it's Paul Juragowski. I mean, I'm off into trance and I'm talking in Polish. I mean, come on. I don't speak Polish. I don't know Polish.
I think Tom actually done that last week when my mum was actually coming through.
What's that?
Automatic writing sort of thing, because she was writing a lot of things
down. Yeah. I don't know where that's going now. God.
Yeah, I wanted a copy of that if you could.
Oops, it's probably gone, mate. The desk's been cleared. The desk has been cleared.
Oh, Mumsy's been in.
No, I cleared it. Actually, I shredded a lot of stuff. So I probably shredded it, son. Sorry about that.
I don't do automatic writing.
Should have asked me. If you'd asked me yesterday, it would have been there.
Yeah, but we've had a lot of rubbish going on over the last week.
Yeah, we are.
Which
was what it was all about, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, a lot of things. You just think to yourself, well, for God's sakes, let's just sort of like just all be at one with each other.
Yeah.
All be happy that at least someone is getting a message. But people can't be like that, which is sad. It's sad. Okay.
Unfortunately, I've not had any experience of automatic writing. It's not something that I do. So I can't really comment on that one, Ali.
It's like with the wax. I do actually feel the guide's actually guiding my hand when I'm doing the wax.
Ali, in answer to your question about writing years ago, I still got the sheets somewhere, God only knows where. Where this lady, I at the request of her, I went along and I sat down, and this lady, she went into one of these, the only way I can describe it as a transcendental state, where she was like, and her hand was just doing this, and she gave me, I think it was 2-3 lots of messages, but she did it on A4 sheets of paper that didn't have any lines on, and although her hand was flopping about here, there and everywhere, and she was like comatose, the writing was dead straight. It was like as if there'd been lines there, and then she sort of translated what she'd written down onto these sheets of paper for me. So, because she keeps a copy original, and she hands the people that, because she's got a copy then of what she did, But yeah, she was comatose basically. she was out for the count. She really was. They literally just zapped her. It was like gone, you know, and then the hand just flopped as it went. Like in the movies, you could say that, Jeremiah. Yeah. It was weird watching her. It was absolutely weird watching her.
Do you believe objects can be possessed?
Yes. Very much so. Very, very much so. Because I've had stuff where I put it down, say, on the desk, and I come back to pick it up to have a look at it, and it's not there. And I'll find it perhaps a month or two later in the kitchen. So stupid like that. So yes, they can. Spirit. What spirit do is they dematerialize stuff from our world. They take it into their world. They learn from it, and then they bring it back. But because there's no such thing as time in their world, they can bring it back whenever.
Yeah.
And it then materializes back in our world. So yes, the dematerialization. Yeah.
Wow.
So yes.
With regards,
Are you missing stuff, are you, son?
Languages, you don't.
Sorry?
Are you missing stuff?
No.
No, well, there we
With
go.
regards to speaking languages you don't normally speak, could that not be residual from past life on a subconscious level, perhaps?
No. The aspect of that was the fact that Paul Juragowski was speaking in Polish, and this lady that was with me could fully understand it because they were friends. And basically, he was chatting away, and she was chatting away apparently back to him, and letting other people know in this group what he was actually saying. And I am. There's no way do I ever or have ever or ever wish to want to speak Polish. Basically,
There's two things here. Well, this one and then the next one. I didn't think language would be a barrier on the other side. My
it isn't.
Mother forgot her first language here, but sure, it wasn't an issue when she passed and joined her ancestors.
No, not an issue at all.
But this one's quite interesting, I think. May I ask a silly question? No question is silly. I am extremely spiritual. I have 2 children here whom obviously need me. However, to be with all my children, not just my ones here. I was wondering what is the easiest way to communicate?
I think that's probably co-communicate.
Right, okay.
Very simple, really. You chat with him, Maddie, and you ask for him to give proof through someone else. So when you're having a conversation with him, and you ask, say if you wanted to have a reading off Luke or Paul or something like that, you would then say, right, you know, you write that down what he said to you, and then when you have a reading of someone, and they tell you, they 9 times out of 10 they will tell you what's been said.
Yeah.
Co-communication. You communicate with both lots then, but you have to remember that you have to be here for your other children here. You know what I mean? You have to remember that. It's very easy to want to slip to the other side because of the pain that you're going through within yourself, you know, very easy.
But
just in your head, Maddie.
When I was very young, my sister and I had sounds. We sat around our kid lamp, which had a plastic lampshade. We sat in a circle and asked if anyone there to give us a sign. We did this for several minutes. When I said that this is so fake, and the lampshade melted from the base immediately after I said that. After that, we kept seeing shadows of a man with a top hat in a mirror, in the mirrors. More things happened as well, but long story, only happened when me and my sister lived together.
Classic. Classic. I'm going to doubt you. Well, I'll prove it to you then. Nice one, Jeremiah.
Well, I do think it's nearly 11:30 now. We've been on for nearly 3 hours. I think it should be about time to actually call it an evening. You know, we all need our sleep.
Yeah.
Especially,
Can I just add to Jeremiah?
Yeah.
There's a gentleman that just come to mind, Jeremiah. He had a top hat, but he had like a 3/4 length coat, and he always carried a cane with him. And that cane would have had a silver top to it. Very smart gentleman, and he was, the trousers of the time were where they were sort of tight fitting around the ankles, I would say. And this is the type of gentleman that I've just seen build up when you mentioned that, basically. So yeah, so there we go. Nice guy, actually, really nice guy, real gentleman, a gentleman's gentleman, I would say. Yeah. Yeah.
I have seen a little girl walk toward me in pitch black dark. She was blonde, curly hair, a white dress. Who was she?
Who do you think she was? See, the problem you have with that is, you know, we see so many different things, and over a period of time, you know, could be any one of a number of people, basically. Bless, you know. You've got to be in that right moment of that time frame, basically, that you're in, you know. Which means that we've got to then go back and look to see what you saw and work it from there.
Or also ask her. Yeah. If you see it again, ask her.
Yeah. It's like the old deer that I saw, I stepped aside for when I was going in my own home to make a cuppa. And she was walking through, and I says, "Oh, come on, love, get yourself through, pet. You know, no problem." And then she popped her head back. "Oh, you can see me." I said, "Oh, yeah." And then I thought, "Oh, dear God, solid spirit, solid spirit."
Yeah. That's why I try to ignore them when I go to the hospital.
Yeah. Like Maddie said, it could have been a younger her.
No, it couldn't have been a younger you. You definitely saw something, because it definitely wouldn't have been a younger you. Because if that child came up to you and then disappeared as soon as you got to you, then no, it couldn't have been you.
I've got a quick question for you. The saying walked over someone's grave.
Yeah.
Some people say they're walking over like your own personal grave. When
shivers and that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's an old saying, isn't it? You know, you get the shivers type thing. If you have to walk over my grave, oh God. Not necessarily that you knew of. It could have been any child who, of a certain era, would have come forward in a white dress.
Could be related to the property or the ground you're living on.
Yeah. It could be many, many different factors when it comes to that. Many, many different factors. I mean, it could have been. I mean, I remember when I first picked up Becky, bless her. She always wears. She got beautiful long blonde hair, and she always wears this beautiful white smock-like dress. and she actually lived on a farm, and she passed away in a threshing machine. That's how she passed away. She's one of my little guides. And for ages, I couldn't work out where she was, who she was with, and all the rest of it, until some a lovely friend of mine, who's probably in spirit now, she turned and she says, Tom, he told she's a guide of yours. And all right, okay then. But she always came through as a little girl dressed in a white dress. She never ever showed me. She showed me the threshing machine. She showed me where she fell in, but I didn't see any of the blood and gore and anything like that. She never ever showed me that, you know. And her white dress was always pristine. It was always beautifully white, you know. Yeah. So, yeah. It's probably because I'm talking about Becky Tasman.
Yes, Maddie, that could well have been one of those moments.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Pure spirit, as simple as that. So sometimes you get people, children, who come through, and they come through in confirmation dresses and what have you. You know.
Yeah.
Seen quite a few of them over the period of years. Quite a few.
That's all right, Maddie. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, we're about to leave. We're about to exit the doorway anyway.
Luke brings a lady to me that brings children to me. Could be like that too. No, I think you may need to answer that one, Luke.
Brings children to me.
That basically is Tanya has a lady that draws close to her quite often, who was a governess, and she, if you like, herds the children around her. So when Tanya attracts a lot of spirit children to her, this governess lady comes in to look after the children.
That white dress may have been what she was wearing. Quite correct, Teresa. White used to be common mourning colour. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right, people.
Well, I'm going to say thank you all for joining us tonight. It's been another amazing evening. We're not on tomorrow, so we've got another day off, but we are back. We are back on Friday at 9 p.m. on this channel. What you're seeing us on now, and Saturday we've got a day off as well.
Yay!
We've got no one on Saturday, so unless someone wants to do an evening with us, we'll be having a day off. But yeah, that is everything there. And then Sunday we're back to Prism, and then Monday our special. We are on Hands of the Angels for the first hour, and then the second hour we're having the lovely Lisa Pullen with us. So it will be double trouble with female trouble. How's that sound?
It sounds a bit rough.
That wouldn't sound politically correct. Mind you, you could have said double trouble with lady trouble.
Yeah, that would
even sound even worse.
Yes. So yeah, we've got the lovely Lisa Pullen with us.
Double trouble with guest medium Lisa Pullen.
Yes.
Yes,
but she's part of Triple Trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm just floating as always.
Yeah. And you never know if Daddy Tom's not busy on Friday, he may want to come and join us then.
I don't know what I'm doing actually. Oh, I've got me down here.
Yeah, that's the dementia. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's my diary. keep having a look. I've got doctor's appointment 3:10 on Friday. Woohoo! Deep joy again.
Yeah, but we're not until 9.
No, not yeah. And I've got a classic car show on Saturday, but it's apparently supposed to be tipping it down, which is
so that'll be a
Yes.
classic watch out.
yeah.
Tasman saying, dare you, Tom?
No, Tasman, no. We shall see. Let's just say we shall see. See how
We'll
tired I
keep
am.
you all in suspense.
In suspenders. Steady on there.
Suspense.
Steady on, son.
Suspense. So the new people that have just come and joined, welcome. Good to see you. We're here on a Wednesday and definitely a Friday as well.
Oh, that's good. When you said diary on the ticket tape, Daddy Tom, it came up diarrhea.
That's the Geordie accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you checked your diarrhea, it came up diary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're on a number of times on this page. Just keep an eye on it. People that are actually with Double Trouble, I do put a thing up where we let people know where we are. Next week's our final week before we're off on our holidays for 2 lovely weeks. So
And we won't be doing any shows from our holiday destination. Because I will be having a holiday.
yes.
There we go.
We are having a holiday, and we're closing down for the 2 weeks. We need the rest.
I've got to do some very close inspection of some spirit, i.e. the bottom of a whiskey bottle.
We need this rest. It's been a trying year. The last 2 years has been very trying.
Yeah, what have you been trying to do, like all you?
No, you know what I mean, with everything that's been going on, in our personal lives. And
well, I'll be coming off on holiday.
Yes.
The time out was enforced.
Yeah, we need that bit of time out. We're going to Gran Canaria, Playa del Ingles.
Good food, beautiful sights, fantastic beaches.
Yeah.
Amazing clubs and bars.
Yeah. And lovely bungalow we stay in with the pool just outside.
Yeah, the bungalow with ensuite pool.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. So, but we got our wedding anniversary next Wednesday, and then on the Sunday is my birthday, and then on the Monday we actually go, and we are doing a live on my actual birthday. So yes, the 1st of September we will be doing a live at Prism of Light.
I'm not doing a live on my birthday.
That's up to you. Well, we can't drink because we've got to drive a bit later to go to the airport, so might as well keep our minds with spirit.
It's got it all worked out,
Enough said.
I just turn up just to keep the peace.
Yeah.
Best way. Yeah. So
anyway.
Yeah.
Thank
definitely.
you so much for each and every one that joined us tonight. Why has someone put an angry face up?
Pass. Wouldn't know.
Annie and where?
Hey?
Put an angry face up.
Who is?
And where?
Where's it at?
It's at the top where we've got where it says live how long. The eye was 10 on, and then it's
I wouldn't know. I can't see it.
Yeah. Oh. Ooh.
I can't see them.
Yeah. Get rid of
Probably
that.
she's angry because you're taking time out.
Maybe. I don't know. But I can't even see her on here.
No, I can't. Which is sad, really. You know, if somebody's going to do that.
Luke said she was on here.
There you go.
Yeah.
She was on, yeah. But I haven't seen a comment in God knows how long.
She's not been on for a while since I lost 2 of my pets and had to have my late mum's cat put to sleep on Sunday.
Oh, right. So when was that then? Trouble is, it goes so fast around here.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't say when she lost 2 pets.
11:34 p.m.
Yeah. So 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
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 And she lost her late mum's cat. She had to have her put to sleep on Sunday. Our hearts go out to you there, and it's not easy. When we lost 2 dogs in a matter of a month, wasn't it?
Yes.
That was very, very difficult, you know. But the love and support, you know, sending you loads of love, and hopefully the healing will start, even though you never really get over them because pets are your babies. But yeah, that's it now. So say thank you all. Take care. Look after yourselves and each other.
And God willing, we'll see each other very, very soon.
Goodbye.
Good night, everybody. Bye.